Okay.
Clear, sir.
Now, okay. Now I'm giving a short assignment, right? I'm going to give a short assignment where you have to print the Fibonacci numbers. Write a function to print Fibonacci numbers. Write a function to print Fibonacci numbers for given value. You have to write a function which takes input. If that input says, like, 10, you have to print first 10 Fibonacci numbers. If that input says 5, you have to print first 5 Fibonacci numbers. If that input says 20, you have to print first 20 Fibonacci numbers. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Now I'm going to write the output here. Okay, so you have to tell me on each iteration what will happen. So when I call this Fibonacci function and pass 5 here as a parameter, and the same would have come here. So this function starts executing. You're saying print A and print B. So as per that, I am going to print 0 and 1. Now what happens in the next iteration? So now this is before the looping. Now once the loop starts, okay, go on. So it
We
is
have
2 to
done
n as
two
in 2,
iterations.
3, and 4. Okay.
Yeah.
No, we did
For
not iterate. We have not done the 2 iterations. You already know the
yeah.
first 2 Fibonacci numbers. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now your iteration starts here. Tell me.
Okay. For third iteration,
Mhm.
it will take in A value as 0
Okay. So your
and
C
B
is
value as
basically A plus B, which is
B
0 and 1.
1.
And you're printing C, which
C
is 1.
1.
Okay, after that, your A value is changed to A was initially 0 and B was 1. Now, after
Yeah.
that, what does your A value gets changed to?
1.
The value in B.
B.
So what
B.
did B had? 1.
B had
And
1.
B value gets changed to the
C
value
value.
in C, right?
C.
C, what
Yeah.
was the in C? C also
1.
1.
1. 1
Okay,
plus 1.
now,
C
right.
equals to
Now again in the second iteration, your C equals to A plus
1. B
B, which is 1 plus 1.
1.
So 1 plus 1 becomes C will
2.
be 2 in the
2.
second iteration. So you're printing C. Okay.
For next iteration,
So your A is equal to whatever was there in the B,
yeah.
which is 1,
1.
and your B is equal to whatever is there in the C.
C, which is 2.
Right. Done. Now the third iteration comes. So iteration 1 completed, iteration 2 completed, and the third iteration comes. And here you would see would be A
A
plus
plus B
B, 2 plus 1. So this would be
was
3.
3.
You are printing
3.
3, right? And later
Yes.
you assign, but your loop ends and you stop. So you have got the first 5
5
Fibonacci
iteration. Yeah.
numbers.
5 plus.
Okay, is it clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we'll proceed further.
Sir, is there any other way to write a program?
So you have used a third variable here, right? For example, you have used C as a variable.
Yeah.
Right? You can avoid using C as a variable, as I said. So you have used C as a variable here, a third variable. So here you are trying, when you are trying to swap the variables, you are using third variable as C. So for example, A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20. Now what I want to do is, right, I want in the place of what I want to do is I want to assign B value for A and I want to assign A plus B for B. So which means A is equal to B, B is equal to A plus B. What happens in this case? Okay, so here it will not be right. So here A is equal to B, B is equal to A plus B. If I say print B, what is the problem? The output I'm expecting here is 30. But what would be the output here?
20.
Sir, 40.
It will be 40, right? Instead of 30.
40. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right? It would be 40 because the moment I said A is equal to B, A also got 20. Now B also has 20. When I say A plus B, it is going to return 40. Now, if I want this to swap properly, the same program we'll write it as A is equal to 10. Let us say B is equal to 20. Then I'll say C is equal to A plus B. Then I'm going to say A is equal to B, B is equal to C. This is what we have done in the Fibonacci series.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'm in terms of swapping this data, I'm dependent on a third variable, which is C. If I have to avoid this entire thing, for example, A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 20, I can do this in a single line. A comma B is equal to, right, B comma A plus B. So this will give me whatever we are trying to achieve here. These three lines in a single line. So whatever is there in the A, so whatever was there in B is going to get assigned to here A, and B, whatever is was the sum of A plus B will get assigned here. So since this operation happens at one go, your values are properly assigned without swapped and without needing a third variable.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
So or simple, right? So forget about this A plus B operation also, right? So the simple, so simple swapping I want to do. A is equal to 10 I have, B is equal to 20 I have. Okay, I want to assign B, A value to B and B value to A. I want to assign A value to B and B value to A. I just want to swap it. I just want to swap it. So if I say B is equal to A and A is equal to B, what happens here?
B value is assigned to A and A value assigned to B, sir.
Right. But what happens here exactly? Tell me. It is not like if I just print A, what will be the output? If I say print B, what will be the output?
Print A 20. Print A.
TA 20.
20 be
Okay.
10.
Print B will be 10.
10, sir.
10.
Wonderful. Very good. Now let us see. To create a new. I want to call this as a swapping. A is equal to 10. B is equal to 20. Right? Now B is equal to A. A is equal to B. Print. Right, let us see what are the values in A and B. Okay, I'm going to run this. What happened? Both has 10 and 10, not 10 and 20. Technically, they should be again interchanged, right? B should be 10 and A should be 20. But they both are 10 and 10. What happened? What happened? So simple, right? Assume this as a memory block. Okay. Initially, when I created value A and assigned 10, which means somewhere in the memory, wherever I refer, it was 10. B is equal to 20. Somewhere in memory, B value had 20. Now third line, what am I saying? B is equal to A, which means now B is pointing where? B is no more pointing to this line. Now B is pointing to 10. And I said A is equal to B. Now where was B pointing to? 10, right?
Yes, sir.
Now when I say A equal to B, A also points to the same 10. That's why when I say print A and print B, they both are going to print 10 and 10. Understood? Not understood? Guys, you have to tell me, have you understood or not understood?
Can you explain once again, sir?
Right. So if you don't understand, it is you who should ask. Right. Feel free to ask questions. Okay. Now what did we say? A equal to 10, which means somewhere in the memory, we have created value for 10. And this A is pointing to this memory address. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now somewhere in the memory for B equal to 20, when we said that, somewhere in the memory we created that value and your B is pointing to this now. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now what did I say? I said B equal to A.
Yeah.
Meaning what does B contain now?
Yeah.
Right. Which means this memory address is no more valid. Now B also points to
Yeah.
A. Now wherever A is pointing, B is also pointing to the same thing.
Yes.
Right. And again, what did we say? A equals to B. Now wherever B is pointing, that is also set to A, which means A is also pointing to the same variable wherever B was pointing to. So this B value got overridden here. It got overridden here. So this went off and this came. So whatever was there in A, that got stored into B, which is 10. Now B was 10 at this point in time. At this point in time, I said A is equal to B, which is what was in there in B, 10. Now A also has 10. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But what was my
Yes, sir.
intention? B should get 10 and A should contain 20. That was our intention. Yes. Our intention was they should get interchanged. Now A should get 20, B should get 10. But because I'm doing this approach, when I said A equal to B, whatever is there in the B that got stored in A here, that got stored in, okay, one moment. So this operation I'm just going to explain again, right? Whatever was there in A that got stored in, say whatever the value that was there in B that got stored in A. So which means this 20 got stored in A. Now A has how much? 20. Now again,
20,
whatever
sir.
say B equal to A, what was there in A now? Latest value of A is
20, sir.
20.
now B also gets 20.
Yeah.
Now this reference is totally lost. Right? So that is why we take the help of a third variable. A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20. Now what we are going to do with this third variable is that I want to store this value somewhere. A C is equal to B. Okay, C has 20 now. Now what I'm going to change here is B is equal to 10. Now A is equal to C. Sorry, B is equal to, one moment. Right. Now in temporarily I'm storing my 10 here. 20 here. Whatever the 20 value is stored in the C now. The B value is stored in the C. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now B
Yes.
value is safely stored in the variable C. Now in the B, what should I replace it with? I am going to interchange a swap A value now. I'm going to say A. So what is the B value now? 10.
10, sir.
Yeah. Now A, I'm going to store C. What did we store in the C for now? Latest value of C is whatever was there in B, which we'll get it as
20, sir.
20.
20.
Now we were able to swap with the help of a third variable, with the help of third variable. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, if I don't have a third variable, we'll fall into this case where both the values, both A and B will end up having the same value. The swapping fails here. Right. Now, using the third variable, we were able to swap the data properly. Now, this thing, this swapping, right? If I want to do it in a single line, all I can do is if I have like A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 20, if I have to swap it, I will just say A comma B is equal to B comma A. B value will get stored in A value will get stored in B. So the same thing now A will have, if I say print A, this will have 20, print B, this will have 10. So this swaps without a third variable. This swaps without a third variable. Again, this is an important interview question. So they will ask, swap the data between the variables, swap the data between variables. So obviously you will write this. So I want to swap A value to B, B value to A. If I have to do that, I need a third variable. I need a third variable. And later I swap using the third variable. Perfect. And once you write this, they will ask, can you swap variables data between two variables? Can you swap data between two variables without the third variable? Without the third variable. This is same output. This is without a third variable. This is with third variable. Is it clear?
Clear, sir.
Clear, sir.
Clear, sir.
Everybody,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
did you understand the concept of third variable first? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you understand the concept of without using a third variable where you can do it in a single line? If you're doing it in a single line, you don't need a third variable. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, okay,
So
sir.
if I have to write a Fibonacci using the third without using the third variable, so it is going to be simple. I'm going to call n Fibonacci and I'm going to print n numbers of it, and p comma n is equal to 0 comma 1. So 0 gets stored in p, 1 gets stored in n. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right. Now after that, what we are going to say for I in range of, right, 2 to n, I'm going to say, right? So here, okay, wait a second. I'm not using a print statement here. So in this case, instead of 2 to n, okay, why is it not going back? Okay, one moment. Okay, then I'm not using the print function, so n plus 1 I'm going to say. And what am I going to do? Print n is what I'm going to print. Sorry, print p is going to. So previous and next. P means previous, n means next. So I'm going to print a previous number. So what is the previous number here? It is 0. Then after that, what am I going to say? P comma n is equal to n comma p plus n. It is the same program that you have written, but this is much shorter form. So if I call fib of 5, this is going to print 5 numbers, which is 0, 1, 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to loop till I think no need of n plus. Okay, one moment. I have a variable conflict. I'm going to call it number. All right. So how many iterations will it be? 0 to number. So for 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, it is going to take 5 iterations, and I have to print 5 values, right? So first iteration, what will happen? So p comma n is equal to 0 comma 1. So p had 0, n had 1, which is my previous as 0, next as 1. So what am I doing in the loop? First time I'm going to print p. So what is my p? 0. At this point in time, I'm going to only print p value, which is the previous value, right? At that point in time, it had 0, done. Now what am I going to say? P comma n is equal to n comma p plus 1. So p is equal to n, yeah, and n is equal to p plus 1. So in this case, I'm going to write it here. P comma n is equal to n comma p plus 1. So what is p now? 0. Right? N is equal to now 1. So in the first iteration, what are we going to say? N is equal to P. P is equal to 1 and N is equal to P plus N. Right? In this case, P plus N is how much? 1. This both became 1. Right? This is one iteration completed. Guys, you have to be interactive because I don't know whether you are understanding or not. So you have to be interactive. Only then I can proceed further with the explanation. If you're not understanding and if you're not responding, I cannot go blindly. Even after saying such a long statement, still you are not responding. Nakshatra, please talk to them and let me know. These guys, I mean, you have to respond, guys. That is when I know whether you're understanding or not. Like, I'm not teaching to a wall.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.